found out Osito got moved to a different unit.
How he pulled that?
How the fuck do you think? Hablando, cabrón.
Huh.
The thing is, I don't have people over there, so it's gonna make things harder.
Well, we'll find a way, man. We always do.
What's happening, Hightown fans? I'm back in here with the wife. Say something for the people, honey.
Hello, everyone.
And this was a great episode, another banger. This one was entitled Daddy Issues. And honey, did you notice how all the women got daddy issues?
I think so.
Well, we can also say that the two people we saw in the start of this video got daddy issues too, Frankie and Jorge, because Jorge think he's these women's daddies.
Oh, sure do.
And Frankie don't even know he got daddy issues because he's about to have a baby that ain't even his.
Mm-hmm. Jorge giving out spankings like he a daddy too.
Right. We're going to get there. I was so surprised by that, but we're going to get there. If you're finding us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so when we drop videos, you get them. If you ever want to communicate with me, all you got to do is hit me on IG. Honey, let's just start out and talk about this new couple we got going on over here.
Goodness.
The homie creator of the show, Rebecca Cutter, told me they're not to call them Cagney and Lacey no more. You know why?
Why?
Because their new name is Jesley.
Oh,
Jackie and Leslie.
Jesley.
Jesley.
Okay.
And I fear for the J part of this relationship because we saw some things that might have turned her completely out, and I'm worried.
Oh, goodness.
But let's go ahead and start from the beginning. We see our boy Osito, one of your favorite characters. That's your boy.
That's my boy.
And they're jacking him up in his jail cell. But guess what, honey? It is because he's getting ready to be moved to the Emerald City. Talk about it. Talk about Osito getting moved from Gen Pop, where his life was threatened, to now he's in Emerald City where they doing rehab.
Yeah, he moving on up in the world. Just what he wanted. So basically his deal with the lieutenant paid
Sergeant.
off. With the sergeant.
Sergeant Allen.
Sorry, his deal with the sergeant paid off.
But if Sergeant Allen keep messing up hanging with Ray, he is going to be a lieutenant. That's what's going to happen to him. And then we get a scene with my boy, Eddie Murphy. I love him. He's like just a strong dad figure on everything he play on.
Right.
Great casting, my people over there at Hightown. He's walking up here with Jackie. Guess who they about to go see, honey? The Squad King.
Yeah. Now, you know, why are they developing this story with Eddie Murphy? You would think that would be like, you know, why is he even involved? And why are they sending her off on these missions with him? And I'm scared. So that means I'm scared for his life.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I am so nervous something is going to happen to Eddie Murphy. But on all side notes, they come in here because they've got some issues with whale poaching. He knows the guy who's involved, Billy Moran, somebody like that is involved.
Right.
Now, I'm thinking that is more to this Billy story than what it is. Because Jackie's assuming he's trying to take out Billy because it's his competition.
Right.
What if Billy has something to do with Frankie and Jorge and the drug distribution?
It's going to have to tie it all together eventually. So we're thinking these are two separate, like, I guess, crimes or storylines or whatever, but they're going to be linked somehow.
Somehow, some way, you know, the Squad King and Billy Moran is going to have something to do with something.
Right.
And then here's the real issues of daddy issues. Jackie's father.
Right. Where did he come from?
We just meet Jackie's father. I don't know where he came from.
We heard nothing about her. I don't remember hearing anything about her backstory. But now all of a sudden, here goes Daddy.
I will say this. This episode had two great backstories, and one of them we'll get to in a minute. But we learned that she's pretty decent with her father. I think that the issue with her mom is that the mom never cared for her being a lesbian, and the dad was okay with it. It's just that the dad was around here having sex with all kinds of women and wished that she was a boy, but was okay with her being a lesbian.
I got the opposite. I thought it seems like I got from this that her relationship with her father was more estranged.
To me, it was more the mom, because basically he was like, "You gonna call your mama?" And she kind of rolled her eyes like, "I ain't about to call her."
No, but so when she hugged him, she looked like she was about to cry.
Yeah.
So something is going on there. So she basically obviously kept her distance from him. And then he made a comment of, "You gonna call your mother?" And she said, "Well, you know, I've been calling her. I'm like, it's not my fault she don't talk to you," or whatever. She said something like that, which makes it sound like she communicates more with her mother than her father.
Okay.
And the father don't know that.
So she eventually mentioned that the father was having all these, affairs with women, but they
Right.
still stayed married. And he was completely comfortable with her being a lesbian. She felt like he was comfortable because he always wanted a boy. And she was a little timid to give him a hug, and I thought that this was an iconic scene with her and her biological father and her workplace father, Eddie Murphy.
But she still, again, she looked like she was going to cry when she
Right.
hugged him. Like
Maybe-
something else is.
Maybe she hadn't seen him in a while, and
Maybe.
she wasn't going to see him this time had it not been for Eddie Murphy.
Right. Meaning she's estranged from her father.
Yeah,
She got issues with him.
Well, I think she told us what the issues were,
Yeah.
but there's probably going to be more to this story. I don't be surprised if the writers of this story have somebody that we've done seen in here sacrificed. Then we get Ray in here with, one of these groups, and they're discussing the loss of their children. And then we found out that he's got another son who's selling drugs and is in jail.
Now, is that real? I thought Ray was just going undercover, making up a story.
It quite possibly
inside.
could be, because we just seen his real
I
son.
think Ray is just out lying so
And-
that he can get in good with,
This lady right
Yeah,
here,
get tips.
whose son was, I think her son was the one that was killed by Frankie and Jorge.
Right.
Off that boat.
Yeah.
And he's got her right here on his phone, and then he waits for her to come outside of this meeting, suck her down for information, and got Charmaine name.
Yeah, so basically, Ray don't have a son that's in jail. He created a storyline that matches hers, so he can gain sympathy and ask questions to get closer to figure out who Charmaine is.
You talk about messing around. You better watch this Ray. This Ray is dangerous.
Yeah,
But you know what? If he is a cop, this is the kind of cop you want on your side. And you better hope that he's fully invested in whatever the case is, because you see, Ray has no boundaries about solving the case.
right. Now look, he asked the question. He was just like, he basically said, "Do you know who your son's supplier is?"
Right.
Now, would the mama know who the son's supplier is? Would she be?
Only if she using or involved in the
In on it.
business. Right.
I'm like, that's an odd question. The way he just out and asked it,
And then what
that
about-
should have like piqued her
Right.
suspicions. Like, who the heck are you?
And then, but she's messed up. She's messed up right now. She's emotionally
mourning.
torn and
Yeah, 'cause her
and
son
tattered.
isn't-
And then what about the whole thing? Do I sound racist when I say that black girl? Do I sound racist?
Yeah, because she said she's not from around here. Or
Right.
something she said, you don't look like one of us.
So apparently they live in a whitewashed town. Apparently, that's what I gathered from that. And then we get to meet Renee's mom. Now, did this woman look like somebody's mother as old as Renee is?
That means she was a young mom.
Okay,
She was a teenage mom
okay.
raising Renee.
Because I was like, this chick looks pretty good to be. Renee is like at least what, 30?
Something like
Something
that.
like that. And this is your mama?
Yeah,
She-
it looked like her older sister.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
So they're bringing the son here to pretty much stay, because she's got business to handle. The mama's like, I ain't got no money for the food.
Oh goodness, yeah.
And then the mama gonna say, give me tip.
What about the tip money?
and Renee digs in her pocket for the tip.
So you wasn't gonna eat if the grandson ain't come over that day?
Right.
What was she gonna eat?
I guess ravioli out the can. I don't know what she was gonna eat. And then I love to antagonize my wife, because Renee is one of my favorite characters. Look at that, Renee. Poor thing. Don't you just want to save her?
Oh goodness.
Because she's in a world of trouble. And the mama looked at her and said, honey. And I know everybody in the audience was thinking, oh God, because mothers have that intuition.
Right.
You pregnant. But no. What she wound up saying was, your boobs are bigger. And Renee was probably deep breathing too. And she was like, no, mom, my boobs aren't bigger. And then she pulled her coat over when she walked away.
I mean, but basically she's saying you're pregnant. I mean, because the mama realized that something is changing in your body.
I want you to cut Renee or
and
break,
your boobs
honey.
get bigger when
cut,
you get pregnant.
Cut Renee or break. Her boobs ain't none of that stuff
so
bigger.
Renee
Poor
better
Renee.
be careful, because the mama know.
Yeah, the mama know. And I'm just getting nervous. They bringing in all these different people. Something is going to happen to somebody. We've got Scrod King. We got Eddie Murphy. Now we got Renee's mom.
Why did they even include this?
I'm
Why did we have to
worried.
meet the mama?
Right, I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm
So
worried.
they're going to find out that Renee is pregnant. Somebody's going to find out.
Yep. And then we get Osito getting to know his cellmate on the Emerald side. And we learn that this dude is a user. We learn that this is the rehab facility for people who had issues with their drugs.
Right.
And he's basically telling him, he came up here where he's at now and he sticks out like a sore thumb. Osito said, bro, it's probably because you black with a blonde looking like Cisco up in this
Oh,
piece.
goodness.
And I was like, yeah, that would make your ass stand out a little bit. But it seems like they're going to be having a good budding relationship, but that just makes me scared. Like anytime there's something of tranquility on this show, I'm worried they pull the carpet from under your feet. Like, do you think that Frankie or Jorge are going to be able to get to this dude and try to get him to do something to Osito?
No, I thought that Osito either is going to have this guy pushing drugs for him, or he's going to get him to...
Because he did ask him them kind of questions.
Yeah, he's going to have him show him the ropes, and he's going to either be selling drugs for him, or he's going to get him hooked on drugs again.
Ooh.
Or both. He might have him selling drugs, and while he's selling, he's using.
Ooh, I hope not, man, because I kind of like this dude. Now, he's saying that since he's been in here, he's been clean.
Right.
This being over here has got him clean.
So that means
he about to be dirty.
Yeah, he gonna be using.
Ain't no more clean for him, my
Osito
bro.
about to mess him
Osito,
up.
please. We ain't got that many brothers on the show. We only got, 2 of y'all. Let this dude live, Osito. Don't do him wrong. And then in the very next clip, Osito gets to go see his therapist is going to help him with his limp. And the first thing I said was, this lady is very attractive. And you about to be working alone with Osito. Sure enough, if I think that Osito up there talking about, my leg's messed up, but my third leg needs some work.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Couldn't help herself, huh? But you know what? She snapped him right back into place.
She did. What did she say, honey?
She clicked that button and said, I need a male assist.
And not only do they get a male assist, they get one that looked like the daddy from Good Times.
Do you know I was saying the same thing? I'm like, they got James Evans. James Evans up there.
They done went and got the daddy from Good Times, ripped up, head ball, looking at the ceiling like, bruh, you ain't gonna do nothing to her.
You don't want to mess with no James Evans.
Right. Then, Osito basically apologized. Yeah. She let him know where she was coming from. And then she was able to instill some confidence in him. He got across this parallel beam.
See, this is why I like Osito. It tells you about, so he was raised, I don't want to say raised right, but yeah, he was raised right. He got that, that gentleman. He knows how to be a gentleman when he needs to be.
He got a little OG in him.
He's smart, and now he about to get his mojo back because he about to get lean, and he's about to get limber, and he about to get his life back.
She did say he need to lose weight, quit messing with that commissary food.
Yeah,
and I'm worried for her too, Crystal. I'm sorry.
I'm not worried about her.
I'm worried. She might be tough and all that, but when they kick in the door, wave in the 4-4, she ain't that tough.
I don't think she's gonna do anything dirty.
No, not dirty. Maybe she might be in a hostage situation. Maybe Osito might force somebody to choose between her and his drugs.
In jail?
Yeah. If you saying that Osito can get to his cellmate, why he can't get to her? I'm worried. I'm worried.
The way they presented her make you think that she's, highly moral.
Yeah.
But who knows?
She could be highly moral.
Yeah.
But that still don't mean you don't get caught up in something.
Right.
But
right.
Hightown, y'all just worrying me, man. Y'all worrying me with all these people. I'm worried. I'm nervous. And then we get to a scene where we learn that Leslie has had Renee as a CI. And you remember, I've been worried the whole time that Leslie's not telling us more than what she is leading on. And Renee pretty much is acting like she don't care until Jackie hops out the car. Then she's like, oh, so now you working with the cops? And basically the issue here is they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on with women being ran out of Club Xavier. What's your thoughts on that? Because she, Jackie knows exactly who she is.
Right. Right.
Thoughts on
Renee is acting. I still don't understand this relationship. So Leslie says she's a CI, but Renee acting like she's not, like she don't want to be bothered. And so
maybe she feel like she's done all she can do for Leslie. What more you want to deal with me for at this point? So this might put to bed my theory that Leslie is crooked working with Frankie or Jorge on the background, but I still do not trust Leslie. I don't trust it. I think Leslie is out for self. There's something.
I agree.
There's a deeper motivation with Leslie. I almost don't even want to call these two Jesley because I just Jackie's my girl and I don't want her attached to Leslie. But we'll see. But anyway, they send Renee to get information on what's going on with the girls. And don't y'all hurt my Renee. Then we get Sgt Allen comes to the jail cell to see Osito to let him know, look, Osito, homeboy, I done got you on the emerald side, and it's green and cushiony just the way you want it, but I need some more information out of you.
Right.
And Osito's like, man, I gave you a dead body. That ain't enough. And Allen said, it ain't enough until I tell you it's enough.
Right.
Negro. In his Sgt Allen voice.
Mm-hmm.
And then to follow up on this story, he starts, poking around, wanting to know about Charmaine.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Osito said, I don't know. Sgt Allen's like, bruh, the day we got that uncle and you got shot, you mean to tell me you don't know nothing?
Yeah.
And I said, even though you missed it in my trailer breakdown, I said this. All Sgt Allen got to do is check the records.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Of who came to see Osito. So he's getting ready to leave.
No, wait a minute. Now, when Charmaine was on here before, when she
had a fake ID.
Didn't she say?
Yes, she had a fake ID, but her dumb butt going to put her real name.
I don't understand that. Yeah.
Right. Somebody dropped the ball. Either the police dropped.
Or the writing is
or the police dropped the ball because she said she had a fake ID. Or maybe the ID she had her real name on it, but it had her old enough to come and visit.
Like, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
If not, the writers dropped the ball.
The writers ain't dropped the ball. The only thing what probably happened was when she said she had a fake ID, she didn't mean she was faking another person.
Okay.
Her ID was fake so that she can be
older.
Older.
That's the only thing that makes sense in this situation.
But still, Charmaine, you gotta be smarter than this.
Mm-hmm.
You put your real name on this thing,
right?
And you
trying to be his dealer,
right?
In jail.
And dudes in jail have always told me, when you call me in jail, don't you say nothing because they listening. And if you don't want people to know who you are, you better not put your real name on this roll. Mm-hmm. That's what they say. But
now, what kind of outdated stuff is?
Charmaine is young, though.
I'm talking about look at the list.
Oh, it's paper.
Yeah, a notebook, and they just okay.
Right, where the digital rolls at,
something,
right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, I guess in the jail cell that he was in, they really expecting you to die, and why waste up all that gigabyte space? Because you're gonna be going out quick. And then we finally get Frankie being confronted by that Renee. Look at the sadness in Renee. Poor, don't you just want to go save Renee? No. Look at her. I do. Poor thing. She's confronting him about Jorge running the girls. And Frankie acted like an even-tempered individual. He was like, I'm going to handle this.
Yeah. I mean, he respects Renee.
Right.
Like you can tell he really loves her. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised that she didn't just accept him, ended the conversation saying I'll talk to him. She was like, when?
Right.
When? I'm like, okay, go on here, Renee.
Right. And I think he respected her because she basically said the police is on us. This is bringing too much heat on us that we don't need. And I guess, he felt like that because in the very next scene, this is how I opened up the video, and I'm going to show you another clip from this scene right now.
No one tells me what to do. Let's get that straight.
Of course not, man. You're the fucking man. Frankie Cuevas from Banana Boat Island is paying the fucking IRS, man. I mean, you're not paying them everything, but shit.
What does that have to do with the girls, Primo?
Nothing, but I am who I am, and I like what I like. You got it, boss. I'll tone it down.
You've got Frankie out here talking to Jorge. First, he's explaining to him, look, Osito got moved. Mm-hmm. I ain't got no connects where he's at. Mm-hmm. I don't know how we're going to handle that problem. Then he careens into, look, bro, I need you to stop running these women. And that's when Jorge goes into this weird tirade. Brother, you paying the IRS now, blah, 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 blah. Frankie's like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? And Jorge says nothing. But, honey, I know what's going on here. One of these two is going to have to kill the other one. This is the very beginning of dissension in the ranks. Hightown, y'all ain't slick.
You took the words out of my mouth. Dissension in the ranks.
This is dissension in the ranks, and we see it coming.
Right. So Jorge basically, initially he tried to say you being ran by your woman.
Yep.
Renee is telling you what to do. Frankie said, no, this is all on me, which is lying. Basically.
Right.
But Jorge see right through him. And he basically saying, this is all you. Mm-hmm. Look, this is you own Xavier. Basically saying, this is your stuff. This ain't mine.
Right.
And there's a little bit of jealousy going on there as well.
And I want to do my thing to make my money.
Right, exactly.
Is what he's saying.
Exactly.
But honey, there's going to come a reckoning. It's going to be either You choosing me, Jorge, or you choosing Renee. But here can be the counter reckoning. Who's going to be there for Frankie when he realizes that baby ain't his? I can hear Jorge right now. That bitch, that whore. I told you she really liked that cop. You thought she slept with him just to get us out of. I can see it coming.
So are they gonna be going back doing the timeline? Because basically, she had to do what she had to do to get him out of jail. She could easily sell that.
She can.
But if he realized that the timeline that she got pregnant before they even put that plan together, that's gonna be a problem.
And then what's gonna happen if he realizes she fraternizing with Leslie, the CI?
Yeah.
So.
Well,
poor Renee.
She could spin that as well and say,
I love it when you come with plans to save my girl Renee.
I'm playing. I mean, I like Renee.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't dislike Renee. Renee is fine.
Riley,
She's
this
just in a
house
bad
likes you,
spot.
Riley. This house is a fan of you, the whole house, including my baby L. We like you, Riley.
Goodness.
Yep, we're gonna save you, Riley. And then, oh Lord, next scene, Jesley done went and hemmed up Jackie's co-worker from the marine fishery. I think this is Bob, and they're gonna send him in because our girl Daisy, poor Daisy. Remember, I felt bad for Daisy too. We found out Daisy's got warrants and all that. And
Brittany, that's her name.
her real name is Brittany.
Brittany.
And they're going to basically send him in there as an undercover. They put the camera in his pocket to go in there and see how far she's really going to go. And Jackie and Leslie are just looking at this with deep intent. He gets in there and, he's like, let's get a dance. And she's
Sticking
like,
out like a sore thumb.
yes, because he looks just like a cop.
Right.
He's like classic cop look, right? But anyway, Daisy, I guess in her desperacy, just goes with it. To the point where she gets him outside, he's about to pay for a blowjob, and those are some high dollar prices, man. Either I'm cheap or those prices was high dollar.
I have no idea what the cost of a blowjob is.
$200 plus $50 to get outside for a BJ? Wow. And we ain't talking about the store. But anyway, she took the bait. And boom, Jackie and Leslie got her right in their Venus flytrap. Talk about poor Daisy, honey, because I feel for Daisy. I like Daisy.
I didn't like Daisy, but I did start feeling sorry for her after watching this episode.
You should have felt sorry for her from the jump. Hemmed up there with Jorge, calling him daddy. It always felt like she was forced to do that. And then we learned that, they're going to just try to make her a CI, and Daisy felt more comfortable with Jackie than Leslie. What does that say to you? Because she also threw a little jab at Jackie, talking about some go suck a penis. I think she knew Jackie was a lesbian at that point, which is why she said that. What did you think about the way she liked Jackie over Leslie?
Well, we learned that a little in a couple scenes later.
But I called it out right here and then when you was watching it. Yep. And then in the very next scene, Daisy goes back in, and of course Jorge, nosy behind, saw the guy that she went out there with.
Right, he was suspicious of her.
Thinking that it was a cop, and asked her that. She was like, nah, it wasn't. I ain't got nothing to say.
That's because she came back in on edge. She went straight to the bar, took 2 shots, and then she's antsy and she's snapping at him. So he knows something is up.
And then as she's getting ready to leave, the show done something that I just wasn't ready for. It took me by such a big surprise.
Oh, goodness.
Jorge popped her right in the eyeball.
He went ping.
And honey, I don't know why that bothered me so bad, because it's not like this is beyond him.
It's the way he did it.
Yeah, it was right. It was like it was like he just snapped, like just boop.
He just jabbed her.
Automatic.
Yes.
Automatic. Right in the.
I wasn't expecting
like,
because it made you think that Jorge really cared for her. Well, granted, his character, it makes sense that he wouldn't, but. It seemed like he cared for her somewhat.
Like he wasn't just some random pimp pimping her out.
Yeah. And
he just jabbed her. I mean, he didn't even backslap her. He just straight jabbed her. Just that took me aback, because I was just shocked that he went in like that.
Yeah.
Y'all got us on that one, Hightown. We was totally shocked by that. But Jorge gonna get it. You gonna get it, Jorge. You mark my words, you gonna get it.
Now, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, is this the turning point of all the women in the show?
Because you've been saying that and think about how they got the dime on Daisy. They got the dime on Daisy from Donna. Yep.
So you got Daisy, who wants to get at Jorge.
Yep.
Well, you got Rebecca, who wants to go after Jorge. Not Rebecca, Renee.
Renee.
Renee. of course, Jackie trying to take Jorge down.
Yep.
And so.
And Leslie got ulterior motives that's going to wind up taking down Jackie and everybody.
Yeah, Leslie would be happy with any type of big fish.
Yeah.
So she'll be in on it. I just think Renee is probably going to try to protect Frankie. Unless he start doing some disrespectful stuff to her.
And when she decided to keep that baby,
so as long as he play nice, Renee gonna protect him.
Well, we gonna see how it have, because Renee gonna keep that baby. The story is not gonna let that baby be aborted. And then Ray hooks up with Sgt Allen because they about to go take a trip uptown in Boston to see Charmaine, aunt, and ask questions. And we both sitting up here cussing out Sgt Allen like, you dummy. You still fraternizing with Ray. And you supposed to be the smart one out the crew. You know that Ray is a bull in the china shop and you fraternizing your career messing around with him. But anyway.
That's the perfect analogy. Bull in the china shop.
That's Ray.
Everything is going to go to H-E-double-L in the handbasket.
Well, anyway, they get here, they find the auntie, and the auntie's like, oh yeah, Charmaine and her sister, they right here. So they in there interrogating Charmaine, and Charmaine is in there answering questions, looking like a boss.
Right.
Like, bruh, y'all really think I'm falling for any of this bull jive? But you know who was the one giving away all the facial recognitions, giving away all their answers through the face?
Her green sister.
Her green sister. Now, at first, the sister was doing good until they asked her about P-Town, where they hanging out at, and schooling. That's when the sister started giving away the face like, oh, God, I don't know what to say. So,
but she had her story together.
But
I didn't catch what y'all saw.
She had her story together, but she didn't have her face together when they start grilling where they hanging around at in P-Town. And the sister that pretty much gave Ray and Sgt Allen the insight to know something is going on with these two.
Now I'm sitting here watching the aunt thinking, okay, you sitting there listening to them question these two little kids and you ain't saying nothing. So is the aunt being paid off by the kids too? She know good and well she ain't homeschooled unless they sneaking out and all this other stuff and selling with the aunt under their nose.
The aunt is involved. The aunt is 100% involved.
She talking about she homeschooling them. You want to see my curriculum or whatever she said.
And then told in the league they got to go to church.
Right, go on. She doing well.
Yeah, I was like, y'all, you ain't about to mess up my gravy train, y'all.
Right.
Y'all think y'all slick? Nope, I ain't going for it. And then Ray and Sgt Allen just having a conversation about all that when they get out. I'm just bothered by that relationship with them. Then we get to this scene right here where my little heart dropped. I actually started feeling for Leslie. I started feeling like Leslie is really invested in Jackie, and I wanted to really see this thing work.
Oh, goodness.
Leslie grabbed Jackie's hand.
No, Leslie is playing the role.
But, honey, she sold me. She got me good because I really felt like there was something deep and gratifying. Like, I just wanted to hug them both. I was into this one. But this is the scene where they start kissing, but then they get a phone call from Daisy. And Daisy wants to talk to Jackie alone. And we both had some real issues with that. Talk about what your issues were.
So Leslie made a face.
There
when
go the face.
Yeah, when she heard her say alone. And I'm like, okay, she's a little irritated. Yeah, she feel like she's being cut out. And so that's it.
Okay, but for me, it's also like, okay, you know that this is Jackie's first CI. You about to send her there alone, whether the girl said come alone or not. You could go somewhere, post up in your car, but I guess they can't do that because they've already shown they don't know how to keep their cover. They don't know, they're going to get blown in the cover. But she was just too happy for her to go by herself, which tells me that there is more going on with Leslie than what we know.
Now, you didn't show the clip earlier when they were going at it at the police station. Leslie and
when they was making out, and Jackie pushed her
more than making out.
Jackie pushed her up against the locker.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, are they the only two women on the police force, where they have the whole?
They the only two.
They have the whole locker room to themselves, and they ain't worried about nobody walking in.
Yeah,
what kind of stuff is this? So you working with somebody at a drop of a dime, y'all just gonna be going at it.
Yeah,
sneaking off.
That's called love.
To rooms, hotel rooms.
That's
or
love.
Wherever.
I remember when you used to treat me like that.
Oh goodness.
And then we get married, and fellas, y'all know what happened when you get married. Moving right along.
Oh hush.
Then we get to Daisy. Poor Daisy. And Daisy does meet with Jackie. And the exchange was quite comical because we get her backstory. And it was a very deep, endearing backstory. You could actually like and believe in Daisy when you hear the story. But at first, when they was making small talk, Daisy thought that Jackie was trying to be a racist. Jackie's like, where are you from? And she was like, I'm from America, you blank.
I mean, but the thing is, Jackie could have got just as offended.
Right.
Because she asked her, where are you from?
Right,
and she
right.
just did a follow-up question.
Right.
Well,
right.
just let you know, Daisy is on edge.
Daisy's
right now.
definitely on edge. And when you hear her story about she got busted in 2016 for being with a dude who makes a pretty baby, but she held some drugs for him, and then they call her for trafficking.
Right.
Which caused her to lose her only child to her parents that are living in poverty. And she wants to see her kid again, but if she goes to jail over this, she'll never probably get a chance to see that kid again. So I was invested in Daisy. A couple of episodes when we did this review, and I told you it was going to be something up with Daisy.
And Jackie also, basically felt sorry for her as well.
Yeah.
And said, I'm not going to contact your parole officer or whatever.
Right.
Now, if she's on parole, unless she just not telling them where she work, can you work at a strip club where like alcohol and all that stuff is being sold? Or
that's a good question, and I'm sure there are some parameters. You can go before the judge. If you've proven that you've been straight and legit, they might let you do it. Or she could be lying, telling her that she's in there, the bar doing drinks. Or she could be saying that she's the accountant. Who knows?
Yeah.
And then to end this whole episode, this was the clip where I'm like, Jackie, no, Jackie. Jackie, no, just no, Jackie. Before we get to that point, Jackie comes and hops in bed. Leslie's sleeping in the bed, all peaceful and sound. And this is when Leslie reveals one of her ulterior motives. She says specifically, and I quote, messing around with you is going to get me to be sergeant before I'm 40. There was no we going to go and be sergeants. There was no I'm going to be sergeant, I'm going to make you a lieutenant. There was none of that. It was I. And then after that, she persists to roll Jackie over, and Jackie's been resisting getting the orgasm this whole season. But for some crazy reason, in the heat of this moment, Jackie allows her to get one, do her, and Jackie came in 2.3 minutes like she was a man that was in prison and just got out for 18 years. Honey, has Leslie fully got control of Jackie at this point?
Something going. I guess so. Basically, it's a stark contrast to last episode when Jackie was somewhat in control, and now this basically telling you Jackie didn't let loose, and she was afraid to let loose for some reason.
No,
and I guess we about to find out in the next couple of episodes why.
No, Jackie,
but I think that's it. I mean, either her emotions are going to be mixed up in it, or this is going to open it up for other demons.
Right.
Like you said.
That's what I think. It's going to be other demons that's going to get opened up too. Probably more so than her quote unquote emotions for Leslie. This might be opening up other demons of messing around with other women, doing drugs. It could just have opened up a gateway to a lot of other things because she decided to unlock her cookie.
Oh, goodness.
Jackie, no. Jackie, no. No, Jackie. But
well, they're officially Jesley.
Jesley, yes, they tied the knot for real. And Rebecca, that is a great nickname for this crew. No more Cagney and Lacey. They are fully Jesley.
So now when you say Jesley, I think of Jackie having control. So now Leslie is in control. So we're going to call them Lackey.
LaJack.
Lackey.
LaJack. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please post your comments down below. Another great banging episode. This show continues to deliver. I hope you guys have started watching it and start sharing these reviews, man. And again, we will have the show creator doing an interview with me and the wife. Rebecca Cutter is going to come through. She has actually posted some of our reviews, and some of the other members of this show have posted that they like it. So you guys check it out, man. It's a great show, and we want to get more seasons on the Starz Network. Any closing words, honey?
No, I'm just ready to see how all this come together. I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the season. So
I need y'all to protect my Renee and protect my Jackie.
And Osito. which I learned stands for, like, I was reading Elle a book. And Osito is teddy bear.
Right.
And of course, Delgado stands for skinny or slim. And so,
He's a slim teddy bear.
yeah.
Okay, well, maybe he'll lose weight and maybe he'll start dating his physical therapist, but I'm telling you, they ain't introduced her for nothing. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video. Please comment, subscribe, go get yourself that life gain. Hit us up, man. If you ever have comments, questions, you need to reach out to me. The best way to do that is hit me on IG, shoot me a DM, and I'll get back to you. Till that next sexy as hell video. We'll see you.